Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the segment on influencer marketing from an influencer's perspective. My name is Elliot Clark, and I'm going to be walking you through the world of influencer marketing. A little bit about me, as I'm sure you're wondering, who am I and why am I qualified to be talking to you a little bit about influencer marketing. So I am the founder and creative director of Apartment Bartender. Now I'm going to dive into that and tell you all about that. Founded a creative agency dedicated to social branding and content for brands primarily in the liquor industry and hospitality space, as well as a huge foodie and cocktail enthusiast. So you can probably find me grubbing around town or searching for all the best cocktail spots. So in this segment, we're going to be diving into the world of, again, influencer marketing. Now, if you've watched some documentaries on Netflix, you probably have a perception of what an influencer is, or if you've done your research and have sought out to see whether influencer marketing is good for your business or good for your clients. There's so much information out there, so we're going to synthesize that information and go over the objectives and the strategies and the tactics that you can employ in your company and for your business and decide whether influencer marketing is for you. Now, by definition, influencer marketing is defined as just leveraging a person or brand's reach, authority to increase your own visibility, to share brand messaging, and build brand awareness and loyalty. Now, that's a lot of words, but in a sense, what we're really talking about is trust. When you are engaging in influencer marketing, you are leveraging a person's trust that they have built with a dedicated audience and a dedicated niche to, in my perspective, build the trust that you have with your own audience and to build the trust that you have with your customer base. Now, in the past, brands would work with high-profile celebrities because high-profile celebrities are typically the only ones in the past in mainstream media, right? So in the example of the single malt Scotch whiskey, working with someone similar to David Beckham. When you think about David Beckham, you think about a global icon. He has a dedicated fan base. You want to know, what is he eating? What is he drinking? Where is he going? Where does he live? What brands does he engage with? You trust him, right? Based on being a fan, based on respect for his career. And so in regards to influencer marketing, celebrities typically were the ones that were sought after. So influencer marketing is the shift in recognizing that there are new ways to reach your audience. Traditionally, again, that used to be high net worth individuals. Now it could be anyone with their own network or media. So when we talk about the word influencer, it's kind of a funny word because we all have influence. One of my good friends hates sushi. And so whenever we are trying to pick out a place to eat and hang out, I'm influenced away from choosing seafood spots and sushi to my own dismay. But when we're talking about the word influence, again, think about the word trust. So the people that you would consider now influencers are social media personalities. You have authors or bloggers. Say that you have a blog dedicated to Whole30 or the keto diet. Podcasters. Every morning I wake up, I put on a podcast. There's always a section in that podcast or weaved into the message of that podcast, sponsored ads and partners, brand partners that the podcaster is working with. Celebrities, again, celebrities are not going away. They're always going to be influencers that we seek out to work with, thought leaders in an industry, as well as industry experts. So, typically speaking, when you think about an influencer and the media channels that they're on, it's going to be on social media more times than not. You know, think about Twitter, think about Snapchat, think about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. These are primary platforms that people use to build a dedicated audience and to build a dedicated following. And from a brand perspective and leveraging the trust that they have with that audience, typically is going to be on these platforms. Now, for the people that engage with these influencers, in my perspective, they're looking to do one of three things or a combination of all of those things. They're looking to be educated about something. Back to the example I used, if you're a blogger and you have a blog dedicated to the keto diet, for me, if I know nothing about the keto diet, I'm going to lean on that person, if I trust them, to educate me on what is keto and how do I incorporate that into my life. Entertainment. In the process, I don't want to be bored. I want to be entertained. I want to know that this is something that I could do and incorporate in a fun way, in a lighthearted way. Or maybe you follow somebody on social media that is a comedian or somebody that has built a following on brevity and lightheartedness, and you just really enjoy taking a mental break from your day-to-day life and engaging on what they're doing on social media. And next thing, inspiration. For me personally, I'm a photographer as well, and so when I'm engaging with people on social media, I'm looking at being visually inspired. I want to know, say they went to Hawaii and I'm about to take a trip to Hawaii. I want to know, where did they take the shots that they took? Why did they take those shots? What angle did they take those shots at? Maybe what was their different camera settings that they used? So those are things that I would lean on certain photographers in the social space to find out about. Again, seeking visual inspiration. Now, when you think about education, entertainment, inspiration, and the people that you engage with, the influencers that you engage with, it's not just one of these. It's a combination of both. And so for the brands that are looking to work with those influencers, they're looking to tap into this. Back to what I was telling you about apartment bartender. Probably wondering, what is apartment bartender? In short, I'm what is considered to be a social media influencer. Now, when I started Apartment Bartender, I did not start it to influence anybody. So I want to talk to you about my story of how I accidentally became a social media influencer. Because again, it 100% happened on accident. So several years back, I got really into home bartending. I went to New York. I took a Cocktails 101 class with a friend of mine. I got swept up in the world of cocktails. I don't know what it was. I like to say that I was really lacking a creative outlet in my own life at that point in time. And cocktails was something that just drew me in. And so after that Cocktails 101 class, I went home back to Phoenix, where I was based at that point in time. I bought a bunch of spirits and liqueurs and bitters bottles that I knew absolutely nothing about. And I lived with a roommate who I like to say would drink anything and everything you put in front of him, so he was a big guinea pig for me. So that's what I did. I just made drinks and tested drinks, learned classic cocktails, and for me, what was important is every time I would look up how to make an old-fashioned recipe, I would get 20 different search results saying 20 different things, and I was really tired of coming across 20 different things and not knowing how to make a really good old-fashioned. And so I decided that I'm going to start keeping a log of my own recipes, and posting them to Instagram was the easiest place for me to do that. Now, along that same point in time, I got really into photography. I thought, you know what? I like to eat and drink with my eyes. Camera eats and drinks first. So I'm going to take a picture of those cocktails and post it on social. Now, here is a picture of some of my early work. Obviously, I've grown a lot. I think the little piece of bread in the back really helps to accent the cocktail. But I still remember just going and rushing home from work every day to beat the sunset and just get a good shot of a cocktail so that I could post it. And it just kept going and it kept going. But what I found through that process is there was an entire community of people on social media, primarily Instagram, that also wanted to find out some really good recipes. They also wanted to find out how to home bartend. They also wanted to find out more about the world of spirits and cocktails. So my work has gotten better over time, but what I do now and what Apartment Bartender does and what that platform is we travel the world making the world of spirits and cocktails more accessible and more approachable to the people that want to know more. And the majority of the following is engaged with me and what I do on social media. And it's become this whole thing. Now again, taking it back to when I first started, it wasn't set out to be that. It was just set out to be recipes. But right now, as it stands, traveling the world, creating drink-related content to, again, make sure that the world of spirits and cocktails is more accessible to people at home. So the majority of the content lives on social. Now, when you think about influencers and their social media followings, there are certain platforms that might be bigger than others. For me personally, Instagram has been where I've seen the majority of my success and the majority of my growth. I've branched into other platforms, YouTube, Twitter, my own website. There are a lot of different things that I've employed to increase the level of communication and engagement with my audience. But through this entire process, I've really learned how to approach influencer marketing from an influence perspective. I've worked on influencer marketing from an agency and brand perspective. In terms of content production, I've been on everything from lean and nimble productions to big scale commercial level productions. And so I've seen a big spectrum of the world of influencer marketing. And so that's what I really want to talk to you about today. I really want to dive into how brands work with people like me and how you could take my experience and apply it to your business and how you work with influencers. In my journey with Apartment Bartender, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the best brands in the world. I've also had the opportunity to work with the cocktail bar that's right up the street from my apartment. So I've worked with craft brands, I've worked with global brands. And if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I wonder, one, what influencer marketing really is, and I wonder if it's for me. I could assure you that from the craft brand to the global brand, influencer marketing can have such an amazing and lasting impact on the growth of your business if done effectively, and that's what we're gonna dive into. The objective, the strategy, and the tactics of influencer marketing and employing that in your business.